In this video, I want to tell you about Vault. Vault is the Ansible way to store sensitive information. So some modules require sensitive data to be processed. Think about web keys and password and much more. If, for instance, you want to manage AWS, in order to manage AWS, you need to store a web key somewhere. This web key is very sensitive. Somebody steals it, they can spin off instances on your account. That will cost you lots of money. So that's something that you better protect in a real good way. And that's what Ansible Vault is for. Ansible Vault is a command. You can use it to encrypt and decrypt files. And to manage this process, you use the Ansible Vault command. And once the file is encrypted with Ansible Vault, you need to tell Ansible Playbook to decrypt it. On this slide, I have composed a small demo. For your convenience, all the steps in my upcoming demo are on the slides. Let's go check it out. So I'm starting with Ansible Vault create. Or better, Ansible Vault -- help, because that will show you all the different options that you've got. There they are. The options are pretty much self-explanatory, with the exception of a rekey. A rekey is what you can use to change the current password on a Vault encrypted file. So let me use Ansible Vault create secret.yml. Which is prompting for a new Vault password. So here I enter my very secret password. Make sure it's secure, because if you are going to put this in a Git repository or something, you don't want a brute force attacker to be able to crack your password within a matter of minutes. So here we are in the secret.yaml. Look at the lower part of the screen where you can see that this is really a temporary file that is created by Ansible Vault. In this secret.yaml, I'm using username Bob and pw hash password. Just one notice before we continue. This is not how you create a secure password for users. We will talk about creating secure passwords for users later in the lesson that is about Ansible filters. This is not it. This is just an example of Ansible Vault. Right. Next part is create user.yml. What do we have in create user.yml? Well, we have vars files. And vars files is referring to the Vault file, secret.yml. And then we can see that this vars file is using the user module to refer to the variables that were defined in the Vault file. Now, what is happening if we use Ansible Playbook on create user.yaml, then, we get this, attempting to decrypt but no Vault secrets found. And we get this message because we have never told Ansible Playbook that it should do something with a Vault password. So let's do this command again, and this time let's use -- ask Vault pass on create user.yml. And then we can enter the password. There we go. And now it is working out all right. Just a quick side note on the user password. I already told you that later on we will explore valid ways to manage user passwords. But for now, Ansible all -a till etc shadow will show you what this password has done. As you can see, user Bob has password as a clear text password. That isn't even going to work. So don't use it this way. Use what I'm going to explain later when using the pw hash filter. Now, we have just entered a Vault password. And that is okay if you use it just once or twice. It is not so very okay if you need to work with these passwords a lot of time. And in that case, you can also use a password file. So I'm using echo password greater than Vault pass. And then I'm going to use Ansible Playbook -- Vault password file is Vault pass on create users.yml. The convenience is that I do not have to enter the password anymore. But you might be surprised. How secure is this? Well, the security really depends on how you are going to use it. In many cases, Ansible playbooks come from a Git repository. The mission here is to make sure that your sensitive values do not end up in your Git repository, because that would be very insecure. So if you put your password file in the Git repository as well, that is about the stupidest thing that you can do. But if you put your password file safely locally in your user home directory, then the password file is protected with your local user credentials. And that should make it relatively secure and okay to use a password file. So password files can be convenient, but please think about using them in a really secure way. It's very easy by making a small mistake to make these password files really very insecure. And then you will be better off not using Vault at all.